Welcome back to Greenbox Gaming plays Delta Green Impossible Landscapes. I am Joe, the handler, and you are joining me and my friends Dace, Brad, and Jean as we continue to try to uncover the everything that's going on in this module. Man, like, I don't know about you guys, like this, it's getting thick. Just like the amount of like
so many characters,
so many faces,
yeah, and like
so much collateral
and
damage.
The lore and just
this has to be the most in-depth session, like game or campaign that you've ever run, huh, Joe?
I had a D&D homebrew that I was running for some guys that was going to be pretty epically long. I ran that for over a year.
Okay.
We weren't meeting super regularly though, you know. So.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Brad, you ran for us. You ran Skystone for us, which was your homebrew.
Skystone was a saga.
Skystone.
Yeah. But this
for
is
anybody
like
listening. Skystone Saga was Brad's homebrew that he ran for the three of us and one of our other friends. I mean, I didn't really know Jean before we did Skystone, like, and I think that was the first RPG thing that Jean had really ever done.
Yeah.
What do you think the chances are, Brad, that you'll ever release the audio to the public, possibly through Greenbox Gaming?
Oh, there's an idea.
Yeah,
I still have all the recordings.
Yeah. Hey, man, like that'd be a cool one. Like, who wants to listen? We'd have to get Riley involved, obviously, but
True.
But yeah, like, man, like that was a great game. And we played that for
that
was like every
a year.
Yeah, that was every other weekend for a year, and we were playing for like 3 hours at a time. So that is, that's like a year's worth of weekly content. Guys, let's stop doing Delta Green. Let's just release Skystone and just put that out there instead.
No ways, this is awesome as well. Fucking love Delta.
If anybody from Art Dream is listening, we are Joe.
We are
Joe. The funny thing about that is, like, you know, so like part of the world was like all the magic came from like a meteor or whatever. Have y'all played Elden Ring? That's like a big part of the lore in Elden Ring.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like almost that exact same
thing.
Dude,
you did it first.
They probably ripped you off.
They ripped you off, man.
I know. I
you
did it
probably
first.
Claim IP infringement.
Yeah.
It's a lawsuit.
Yeah, I mean, Brad, you're a great DM, dude. Like, it's like the fact that you did all that,
appreciate it.
You did all yourself, and we had a great time. I had a stellar time. I know Dace had a lot of bad things to say about it,
but never to Brad's face. Just after the games, when we would talk alone.
Right.
No, on a serious note, Brad put a shit ton of effort into that game. Like, he made a customized pixel art for all of our characters and a lot of the NPCs.
Those are so good.
Which, if we ever do release it, we gotta release that art too. That art was
those
awesome.
Were so fucking good, man.
I'd fucking buy a t-shirt of that.
I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. I had fun too, obviously.
Yeah, it was so good. But
I have a lot more respect for Joe's burden now, being in that and I'm sure Madison's done it before too. DM'd
to a far lesser extent.
Well, what did I DM for you guys? We did the one shots. Did I DM something else? Was that it?
That's the only thing I've ever been a part of that you DM'd.
There was something else.
There was
something when we were in college that I ran.
Oh, that was Paranoia.
We did Paranoia too. God, lovable Paranoia. Ugh.
And then you and I played a few campaigns like online on Roll20 that never really went anywhere.
Dude, all right, this is a perfect place to talk about our experience hooking up with random people on Roll20 on the internet and playing Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, first of all, let's agree. Let's not say the DM's name. We can't. We have to give him a pseudonym right now.
We should just refer to him by his social security number.
Yeah.
Oh, let me pull it up real quick.
What is okay? All right, this is, and if this guy ever sees this, man, he would be probably pretty. Should we be nice?
Be nice.
This is you and Madison. I was never met to do it.
Yeah.
You
Karma,
and Madison.
right? Karma's
Or you and
bigger
Davis.
thing.
Let's say maybe we won't. Let's not tear them apart, but you meet some genuine characters when you just try to find a random party on Roll20. Like we just like proposed to a few different parties, and it seemed like this guy is pretty solid with his DMing style, and then we played a few sessions. And this dude, I don't even know what to say about
Well,
him.
it was we were.
You said he was like getting super in depth with like the weight y'all carried and stuff like
Oh
that.
man,
Like all the little
Dude.
details like
like
that.
I
Yeah.
mean, you want to talk about
Total rules.
you want to talk
lawyer.
about bogging down a game.
But here's the thing: he was such a stickler for that type of shit. But he had not memorized the module whatsoever. Anytime anything like that came up, he would have to leaf through the entire module,
Well,
like put the game
And you
on
know, and
pause.
I leaf through this all the time because I've read the shit out of the first operation. I've read a good bit of the second one, but like I still have to leaf through it. But it was like this guy had never read
Yeah,
this stuff.
he never cracked the book.
Yeah, and what was it? It was Tomb of Annihilation. That's what he was running.
Yeah, and he
Which
like
that one is kind of like survival, right? Like that's
It
the
is a little
element
bit
of that
more
campaign.
tilted toward that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of the craziest things is he would constantly do dabs throughout the sessions, like dabs, like wax.
But he was like,
What?
Dude, that is
he would be like, all right, I'm getting too anxious. All right, I have to go do a
Oh.
dab. And it's like,
let me do one of the most
Jesus.
anxiety-inducing things I could possibly do.
Should we talk about the other element of that, which was kind of noteworthy? The other player. Okay, I'll put it diplomatically.
Maybe keep this for the
I'll put it
keep this for the
diplomatically.
B-sides. This will be the next chapter of shit talking part.
Listen, this is like a
Spit it
master.
out.
This is a
Mm,
master
story
class
time.
in being really passive aggressive.
Yeah.
One of the players was his girlfriend, and there was a. You know, some people use a numerical scale to rate people's attractiveness, which we can all agree is very crude and just like unrepresentative of what someone is really on the inside. I think we can all agree that that's just it's a very
for
it's a very
sure.
immature practice.
Shallow.
And but if one were to
That being
lower
said-
themselves far enough to utilize such a numerical method, there was at least 4 to 5 solid points of difference between this.
There's a little bit of disparity.
A little bit of a disparity between the DM and one of his players, who was his girlfriend, who presumably lived with him.
Mhm.
And it was hypothesized that she may be paid to do so. So,
And he paid her to do it?
I doubt she would pay him. That's
Oh my
yeah.
god.
It was weird.
It's a pure conjecture.
Pure conjecture. If that person, God, can you imagine if this gets out there and if he's like, well, actually, that wasn't the situation. And that was the go-to every time a rule came up where it was like, well, I'm going to do this. Oh, well, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Anyway, would you guys like to...
He's probably killed his girlfriend by now and is wearing her face.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't think that's where you're
Oh,
going. with
Yep,
was
not
not
where I thought that
expecting
was
that.
going.
Yes.
So,
Well,
on the subject of
Very-
wearing people's faces, let's go back to Delta Green and talk about
excellent.
where things have gone in the last few, or in the last session at least. You guys have forayed back in.
We always make our way back.
You guys have forayed back into the night floors after investigating Michelle Van Fitz's apartment, or her night floor apartment, which had grown significantly. You found some strange books, including a copy of the King in Yellow, which is the Red Book. It's kind of what it's called, the Red Book. You guys went back to the smoking lounge and actually kind of plumbed Mark a little bit. Mark told you that the sixth floor where Abigail is he says you can't come back from there. He's like, and why would you want to go there? You got everything you need here. And you guys were able to pull some stuff. You found out that apparently Abraham, the dog that's following you, belongs to a guy named Lundeen. You think that's a last name, by the way. I'll get that to you. And which is odd, who he described as and Mark said he's crazy. Which is kind of interesting because the way he described him is wearing the silvery robe, and I believe it was Dace who made the connection. That actually sounds familiar because you guys had seen in the police records that Abigail Wright was accosted or mugged in the building before all of this oddness started to happen by someone wearing these silvery robes. So that was a good catch. Like when you made that connection, because I was thinking about it, and I'm like, because typically when there's something out there like that, and you guys aren't picking up on it, what I'll do is I'll have you make an intelligence check, and if your character passes the intelligence check, I'll remind you of it. Unless it's something very, very obvious. But for something like that...
That's because we failed the intelligence check in real life.
Yes, you already failed your real life intelligence check.
Yeah. I've been taking notes on this campaign pretty consistently. Yeah. Like, here's my notes from this session, but then here's my notes from last session. So the quality is always there.
What is that?
Just crazy scribbles.
Well, it's... Anyway, you guys eventually... You basically told, like, alright, well, we need to go find the night manager, who, this Mr. Castaigne. As you guys go to try to do that, you run into a man comes out of a closet and basically is like, oh god, thank god you're here. Identifies himself as David Langford, who apparently was a TV repairman / cable guy who, as far as you can tell, it sounds like he got stuck in the night floors because he came to the McAllister building to disconnect the cable because the bills weren't being paid. And now you've got him in tow. So now you've got two NPCs. And, you know, when I think about it, I'm like, I regret this. I regret giving them NPCs that I have to take care of. But nonetheless, here we are, and we left off with you guys having noticed down the hallway, a hallway that doesn't really look like it matches everything else here. It looks more like something you see like in the 60s or the 70s, kind of dingy, fluorescent lit hallway. You've seen an apartment with a small sign on it titled Night Manager. So, I will actually, you guys go ahead and let me know what it is that you want to do now that we are standing here in front of the Night Manager's door while I put on our ambience.
Fucking roll up in there.
Yep.
Team woman fighter.
Team woman fighter.
Team lady puncher.
Dude, she might be some kind of she might be Cthulhu himself or some shit.
Benedict knows that she's not as innocent as she seems to.
But Benedict probably likes
Was
that.
it?
Very much.
Are y'all familiar with the comedian Andy Kaufman? I think it's Andy Kaufman.
I don't know.
There's a stage in his career where he just wrestled women. That's what he did.
What?
What?
Like
people paid to watch this?
Oh hell yeah! It's like big matches and
it.
Professional wrestling. Like he's a mix of a comedian and also just like a performance artist, and that's just what he did throughout part of his career. Is
Just
wrestled
women. All right, cool. You know.
All right.
So
So firm rap on the door then.
All right.
That's what we go for.
Alright, firm wrap on the door. Let me get us back over to the gameplay screen.
Actually, you can't rap on the door.
Actually? That's not how that works. You have to roll a door knock check. That's modified.
Oh no.
And that's why
started.
Delta
We've
Green
started.
is not that.
Be the bigger man, boss. Be the bigger man.
You're right. You're right. I'm better than this. Let me find. Where is he? Where is Henri? I am having trouble finding. There he is. You guys hear you hear the sound of a television, like that kind of telltale sound, and you see, or coming to the door, you see this man, old, very, quite old-looking guy. He's wearing like a warm cardigan over his shirt. He's thick rimmed glasses, balding. He's probably in his 70s, 80s. He comes to the door, and he's, hey, hello. Can I help you?
Are you Mr. Castaigne?
Yes. Please, Henri. He's
Hi, I'm.
That's his name,
Okay.
is Henri, which is spelled kind of like Henry. But he said, yes, Henri, please.
I'm Agent Meetcha, as in pleased to.
I don't get it.
Where? Well, that seems to be the general consensus. We're here investigating the disappearance of an Abigail Wright. Have you seen or heard from her recently?
He does. He's like, oh yes, I think she moved upstairs.
And if one were to try to get upstairs, how would one go about that?
That is up to the super.
And if one were to try to contact the super, how would one go about that?
No, you do not contact the super. The super contacts you.
I see. And what is the
Have,
super's name?
It's just I just call him the supervisor. It is his place.
Ugh, Benji rolls his eyes hard.
So, Henri, if I may, how long have you been in this place? What is it? Do you have a job here? You seem to be
I am the night manager, and he taps the sign on the door. I am night manager. I manage at night.
This entire place you manage.
Yes, it's someone. They lose their keys, and they need to get the light bulbs fixed. I do that.
Even if there was something to happen on the 6th floor, you would go up there and fix it?
No. I do not go there.
Well,
Are you guys just standing in the doorway?
Well,
Or-
yeah. May we come inside? We have a couple questions that,
If you show him your badges or something like that, he's just, oh, okay, nice. And you go inside. The apartment is cramped and it's dark. Like there's like one light bulb in the fixture in the living room, and the rest of the lights kind of spilling out from the television. And it looks like it's like I Love Lucy or something like that. It's like an old school show. He's he kind of toddles in. He's not decrepit, or he's not fragile, but he's kind of bent with age, and he kind of scoots in. He says, "Hey, just come in. Here, let me get that." And there's a chair, but it's piled with newspapers, and he moves them. And there's only one chair. Besides, you can tell that one of the chairs is his that he sits in, and there's like a little chair next to it. And he just like so he only makes space for one of you to sit. But you can see into the kitchen, and it's dingy and dark. It looks barely used. But again, there's like magazines and newspapers like all piled up. It kind of looks like a hoarder's place. You know, it's got that feel to it. There's a bit of a musty smell.
Uh-oh.
And Mr. Castaigne, Henri, if you will, do you live here by yourself?
Yes, it's my apartment.
Do you have any pets?
No.
Do you want a dog?
No, you leave him outside.
Sorry, Abe.
All right. Sorry, Abe.
Abraham sits at the doorway, and Castaigne points at him. I'm watching you.
Henri,
What does Benedict have
Henri.
against Abraham? You just hate dogs.
Henri, are you aware of the amount of people that are lost? I don't know if you noticed our other friend out there. He's very lost in your building. I just feel like it would be under the purview of the night manager to look after people who get lost in your building.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Can you help this man get
and
out?
Langford is like he doesn't want to go in the apartment. He's like guys, I don't know. But if you go in and you like go to close the door, or if you even suggest that he wait outside and you close the door, he's like no, I'm coming in, and he goes in with you, and you guys shut the door and you leave Abraham outside.
Henri, look at this man. He's been lost. Look at him. He's just been he's been drinking champagne and cocktail sausages for a week.
He's like,
It feels like you're not doing your job, sir.
yeah, I do not know. It's you can get lost, I guess. He looks at him and says, "Why do you not just leave? Just go."
Do you have a map for us? Because I'm not saying that we're lost, but a map might be
I
useful.
don't want you to think that I need a map. I'm just wondering if you have one.
Have you made...
Blueprints, a layout, anything would be helpful.
He's like, no, I do not have a map, a blueprint. I'm not an engineer. I'm the night manager.
Henri, how long you been working at this here joint?
Oh no, it's a few years.
A few.
And he kind of sits down and just like his eyes just kind of fall on the TV. He's just kind of like absent-mindedly listening to you. He kind of seems like.
You have
Is
any
the TV just
idea?
blank on static?
No, there's like an I Love Lucy
Okay.
kind of thing. We'll say that it's
Okay.
I Love Lucy, and it's like
Alright.
it's playing kind of quietly.
Okay.
That's a good episode there. That's the one where she can't take to put with the chocolates on the conveyor belt. It's a hoot.
Yes.
Anyway, do you know who built this building?
Who built it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. He kind of thinks for a second. He goes, it's Darabondi.
That's something.
Finally, you know something, you old fuck.
Wow. Do you say you old
Wow.
fuck?
No, just kidding. That was out of
Is it a?
Have you met this man, Henri?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. And you guys are like looking around, and if anybody wants to do any looking while some of you are like talking to him, he seems like kind of glued to this TV. Like he's talking to you guys, but he just kind of turns his head to you a little bit. His eyes kind of locked on.
Oh
We
yeah,
secretly
sure,
sneak
Benji.
Abraham inside the apartment. And then
The second you
look
open
around.
that door and the dogs are, he just says, "No dogs." He seems to have a sixth sense
Benji will-
for dogs entering his apartment.
Benji will search. 743 success.
All right, it's pretty good. As you're looking around, you find on the walls there's some picture frames, and you start looking at them, and it looks like that they are of some of them, they look to be like they're very old black and white photos, and maybe you can pick out Henri Castaigne like in them as a much younger person, like some as a child, and the ones when he's a child, it's like him with probably like his mother and like his sister and his older brother and like stuff like that. But then they go on and the content gets a lot darker. It looks like that the place has been bombed out like a war zone. Like you see like the same house, you see like him standing with hands on hips in front of what looks like a barn or something. Looks like it's been hit by a bomb. And you see tanks and like from a distance, and you see a city that looks like it's been destroyed, and you see him as an older man, like as a full-grown man, like in this place that looks like it's been destroyed for a long time, and things like that, which is like, so it looks like, and these appear to be some from his own history.
Oh. Try to search for something. Failed.
I'll keep chatting with him and say, Henri, I do have something that I might need your help with. I may have broken a mirror of sorts somewhere in the building. Is that under your purview? Broken mirrors, broken things.
I cannot fix a mirror.
Do you actually?
You have to buy a new one.
Do you actually do anything here?
I am not a mirror repairman. What do you call people who work on mirrors? I don't know.
Oh, you did cut out.
Oh.
Yeah, is yours working?
Oh, Dace is
cut out.
frozen. He's sitting in the
Sorry,
bottom, and he's also in the back of
blew
Fred.
my mind.
Mind bending.
It's like, who is that person? That looks like.
I just thought he was really captivated. I didn't realize he was frozen. Nope. There he goes.
I mean,
It's like,
all right.
it's part of the
Something happened to
impossible
his-
landscape.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, Dace's
right?
stuff just crashed.
His video went away, so the stream's gonna be messed up.
Okay. Oh, here. Okay, he's back. Okay.
Oh,
That was
there we
weird.
go.
Dace, what was the last thing you heard?
The worst fucking luck. His pictures of family started to get darker. It looked like the home had been bombed.
Yeah, it looked like he basically was in like a war zone.
Yeah.
So yeah, and
You
as
didn't
you
miss anything.
and as
then,
you're- as you're looking-
Benedict was just starting to become abusive.
and as you're looking too, you see like some of these. You look at one of the piles of magazines. There's a New York Times, a New York Tribune newspaper from 1 July 1923, and it has a big headline. It says Russo-Germanic Pact crumbles, Vienna liberated, and none of that makes any sense to you. You don't know of anything like that. Who was Vienna liberated from? What Russo-Germanic Pact in 1923? Again, things that don't really make any sense.
Yeah.
There's different
Say,
timelines
where-
going on.
Where are you from, Henri?
That is a bit of a complicated question.
It's a hard
It's a
question.
hard question.
Wow.
He says he's like,
What would he say?
hold on, actually.
Got him.
Oh, gold mine right here. It's a fucking gold mine.
You know it. You know when
Crack the case.
you know when the he says, he'll tell you, he says, I was born it's all ancient history now. There's I do not really. He looks up at the picture. He sees that you're standing there next to the photos and kind of looking at them. He kind of looks at them kind of longingly in a way, you know. Yeah, those are the old days. Yeah, it was a city. I do not. I grew a place called called Carcosa.
Oh.
Yes.
Arcosa.
Yes.
Oh my
It
god.
shows us the old days. His eyes go back to Ala Lucy. Old days that are gone now.
Hold up there, partner. Carcosa?
None of you have ever heard of Carcosa. Unless somebody wants
Can I
to
do
roll
like a
me-
history check?
Anybody
on
who
that?
wants to roll
Can I-
an unnatural roll.
History.
Nope.
What?
Unnatural is what you're gonna
Benji's all
what
about it.
you're gonna have to give me.
Oh, I guess there's no way I can. I have a 0. So is there
I got
no way I
0.
could even like get a success on that?
I think
Yeah.
if you can roll, if you roll a 1, I think no, you have to have at least a 1%. That's right. Or is a 1
Jeez.
always a success? I don't remember.
Doesn't Benji have some unnatural or not?
Benji does, yeah.
Benji does, but my laptop is connected to Brad's Wi-Fi, not the hotspot. So I might have to connect the Wi-Fi.
Do you want me to roll for you?
Man, fuck this. Please
Yeah,
do.
roll it.
Okay.
Roll it.
You might be rolling for me for the rest of the
Okay.
session.
So I will roll. So it's going to look like me doing it, but it's actually Benji. So that is Benji's unnatural. That's a 93/10, unfortunately.
93. It was
So
close.
none of you know about Carcosa, but you do know that you've never heard of it.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna ask him. It's like Carcosa, and is this a smaller country in Europe? A city? What is
Well,
this?
you know,
place?
it's like
Where?
it's funny now that you kind of say that. Like you can't really place this guy's this guy's accent. It's not just because Joe doesn't do a good accent. We're gonna say that I'm doing it on purpose. That my accent is unplaceable on purpose.
Spot on.
A Carcassian
Well, it was.
accent.
I thought you were going for like an Eastern European.
Well, it kind of
type.
reminds you of that a little bit. A little bit. And
Well,
Oh, Benedict's gonna ask. Do you speak Tartesian, my friend?
he kind of chuckles. He's like, yes, this is my. He looks at you. He says, and he says something to you, and like it kind of sounds Russian, like it's kind of got this kind of tilt to it.
Wow.
And he's like, and he goes, never mind.
Good catch.
He says,
Yeah.
yes.
I think Benedict
when I was-
his eyes will light
ever
up.
since I was a
Like,
boy.
so but what does he say when I ask him like where is this city or country?
Yes, he's far away, ma. He looks at the pictures. He says, "Gone now."
I can tell this is a painful topic for you, sir. But what happened?
Yeah,
A war?
he says, the war.
With who?
Yeah, does it matter? It's all gone now. Now Henri is night manager. I watch my stories. I manage the hotel.
Does it matter? Yes, it matters. It matters very much.
He tells you that it is ancient history. I do not want to talk about this.
Your ancient history. Blah, 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 blah.
It's like Pulp Fiction, but there's 3 of you instead of 2, and you just all stand up, blah 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 blah.
All build up. Can I do a human and see if there's any way I can like empathize with him? Try and get him to open up a bit more.
Yeah, you can give me something like that. I'd say that's fair.
That's a success, 30 under 43. Benedict really gives him a look of recognition at
You
his
see that
Cartesian.
he looks
Like,
really like when you start talking about this. Like at first he was just kind of he just kind of seemed like an old guy who's just kind of he's answering your questions, he's humoring you, he let you into his home, but he really just wants to watch TV. Now you can see that he's like almost like holding back tears. Like he seems to be very troubled, very upset. I mean, he says he doesn't want to talk about it. You kind of feel like he doesn't want to talk about it.
He goes in for a hug.
Oh.
Benedict just goes in for a hug.
He
just knows this.
he will. He
big
doesn't
guy
really
can
move
hug
as you like bend down and hug him. You know, he's sitting there in his
I
chair.
Tuck in.
He's like,
Tuck in
he
now.
says, so, thank you, and he reaches up and he kind of he like wipes the. No, he reaches in his pocket. And he pulls out a crumpled, used tissue, and uses it to kind of dab his eyes.
I feel like I did something good in this game.
And you guys see, like, there's
once.
the apartment goes back to what looks like a bedroom or something. You know, there's like other parts of the apartment, but like you think that there's really probably not a lot out here. It's just there's so much. Like, it's like Abigail's freaking apartment. I mean, you could spend days just going through all this guy's stuff, and that's all newspapers and magazines and stuff. But again, he seems to kind of zone into the TV, like he almost forgets you're there.
Okay. Then, before he goes, Henry, thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure talking to you, sir.
Yes.
Can we borrow your keys, or do you have a spare set of keys that we could borrow
No.
for our investigation?
I'm afraid you need a. He snaps his fingers. You need a the paper.
Keychain.
No. You need paper saying that I have to give you this. What do you call?
From whom?
What do you call it? A warrant.
Oh. Henri, do you want to stay here? I can tell you're a kind man. You must be aware of what's going on here. This is...
Yes, what do you...
You realize this is not real.
What are you talking about? And he's just
This hotel.
still watching TV. He says, This is my home. I am the night manager." David Langford at this point, he's like, they're all like this. We gotta go.
There's something important about this guy, but I can't, what else can we do? I've already done a search, failed a search.
You look at everyone give me an alertness check.
Can you roll for me, please?
Oh yes.
A fumble! I can't roll. I have not succeeded in any roll.
And I will roll for
Today.
Benji here.
Failure.
I'm about to have my situation sorted out. I thought of a workaround.
Work around.
He got a
Oh
fumble
god,
too.
none of you notice
Extra
anything.
fumbly.
Pure. Two of you got fumbles, got critical failures. So yeah, no one notices anything.
Yeah.
So he's just sitting there. He's like, he just kind of like motions towards the door. He's like, well, it has been good meeting you. Good luck, officers.
I
Okay.
can't think of anything to keep us here. Like, I think we just have to go.
Did we ask him if he knew Abigail?
If I don't remember if you did now, but if you say something, to Abigail, she says, no, he told you she's up on 6th. Yeah. He's like, she's
Yeah.
up there. She moved upstairs.
I don't know. I do
How
I'm trying to
could
think
we go about getting noticed by the super?
He looks you up and down. He says, I do not know. Do not worry about him. He's busy.
Oh my god.
There are people looking for this girl, Henri. She has family.
Yes, the police. They are in my apartment.
Yes. Are you that tied to this super? What does he have power over you? I mean,
I run this place at night for him. I keep the lights on. I keep the light bulbs in. I clean up the messes.
don't you think law enforcement is a little bit more important than this your boss and whatever he's got going on up the stairs?
I do not know.
Oh Lord.
Henri, is there anything we can do to help make your life easier? Or to
Leave him
make your
that
job
porn
easier?
book.
No, I have. He looks around, and you see there's like a little, you know, like a TV tray there, you know, like, and there's like, you know, it looks like a microwaved meal, like the leftovers of like a very kind of sad microwave meal. He's like, no, I have what I need, and he looks back to the TV.
All right.
I think we just have to leave him.
I think we have to. Not before we light his fucking TV up. Yeah, let's just get out of here.
Okay.
All right.
You open the door, and Abraham's gone.
Dang
No!
it, babe. Ham!
Or a trail of piss.
He can
Leading
just
us to
follow
him.
the dog urine.
He's just constantly pissing.
So
I think the dog's got
and I'm going to tell you, after you guys have done all this, you're starting to feel it. Like, I think this is the point at which I'm going to say, you guys need to make a decision of what you're going to do in order to avoid exhaustion. You could go, if you want to go back to smoking lounge and try to rest there, then do that. If you have concerns about sleeping in this place, then maybe you should leave. If you want to do some stimulants, chain smoke, find some coffee, something, do that so you can keep going for a little while, then do that. But you guys are about to start running into some exhaustion issues. Like, as far as the way Delta Green works, you're about to run into that.
Well, fellas, I think we can rightly say that these night floors will be available to us at any given night, it seems. I don't know if I trust sleeping in this joint.
But David Langford's
No, sir.
eyes are wide. He's just like, no, I can't stay here more.
Well,
Get
if
out.
y'all don't want to sleep here, I guess our only option is to go back to the real world and try again tonight.
When you say the real world, David Langford says, don't say that. Don't say that. Please don't say that. Please don't say that.
All right, David, we're gonna head out of here, but you understand you're gonna have to stick with us for a little bit, given what you've been
he nods his
exposed
head.
to.
He's like, yes, please. Let's go, please. Let's go.
All right. I'll say let's head back to the lounge and try to get out of here.
Yeah. Let's break it up.
So do you guys want to leave, or you can go back to smoking lounge?
I
Leave.
thought that was close to the leaving, but
You tell me what you're doing.
I say we leave.
Leave.
Try and
You
leave.
guys are going to try to leave. All right, who's leading the way?
Anyway,
Yes,
Benji
Hank
will-
will leave. Oh, okay.
Everybody leads the way.
Everybody.
United front of
3 men
insanity.
abreast.
I was gonna take a sanity damage since y'all two have, but if Benji wants to roll another sanity,
Well, you're not taking damage
Check,
every
go
time you
for it.
roll a sanity check.
right? I meant like
Yeah.
what I meant is a chance of
Someone roll me
damage.
something. Someone roll me a sanity check, whoever's leading the way.
I'll do it. There's a 5 under 49. Solid as a rock.
All right, would you rather lose a sanity or a willpower?
I'll do sanity this time.
Let me do something real quick. Let me...
It puts me at max is 89 and my current is 48. When do I When does shit
There
happen?
should be a breaking point.
At the breaking point.
Yeah, okay.
So let me we'll make a quick roll here.
It's a banging track.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Alright, here's what happens. You guys are moving down the hallway. Maybe you're calling out for Abraham every now and then. You don't see him. Langford's with you. And as you're going, you kind of round the corner and you see in front of you, you see what looks like the other side of that big door into Michelle Van Fitz's apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear David say, What is that? And you guys turn around, and about 20 feet down the hallway, it's like almost right behind you. You turn around, and you see it looks like a gurney, like a stretcher, right? Like a medical table with wheels. And there's a man on it. He's strapped down. Ankles, waist, and feet, and ankles, waist, and wrist. And he's laying there. He's in like a dirty kind of smock, and he's just laying there, kind of talking to himself. You can kind of hear him mumbling a little ways away.
There's some psych patients roaming about, and I'm sure it's one of them.
And David Langford, he's like, what do we do? He's like looking at the door. He's like, is that the way out?
That is the way out.
This is
But
so
before
much
we go,
crap.
let's take a look at this crazy man strapped to
This is a terrible
Well, I don't know.
idea.
You
stretcher.
you guys tell me. Do you think that your characters would want to help someone in this situation, or be so desperate to leave that they just want to fucking go?
Benedict, nope.
I mean,
Benedict
well,
is,
I didn't know
I
if
do
this
not want
guy
to see
needs
this
help.
door.
You think that this person might need some help? You don't know. With the opportunity to help
I
guess
someone
you
available
said-
to you.
Hey, David, go over and check him out. We got you this far. You got this little favor.
David's like, he's like, no way.
Little quid pro quo, as they say.
And
I think Hank would have to. Hank would have to.
Think Hank would probably try to help someone. Guess.
you get up to him. You get up there to him. He's he's in his 30s or so. White guy, clean cut. Looks like a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow. Not too bad though. Pretty clean looking guy. You can tell he's big. He's in shape. Not like huge, but you can tell he's like in shape. He's fit. And he's laying there. He's like, yeah, end of the line. That's should have stayed. And he's kind of mumbling to himself, and just talking. As you get close, he turns his head to you. He's like, "What? Wait, who are you?"
Hank Ellis, I'm an officer. Do you need help, sir? You're strapped to a table.
And he's like kind of like he's trying to get up. He's like, oh my god, is that, what are you? And he sees your badge. He's like, what? I'm Vega. I'm Agent Vega. You gotta get me out of here. Are you, who are you? Are you with, and he's like looking around. He's like, oh, shit, are you with the program? I'm Vega.
What?
And here's the
Does
thing.
this
I'm
come in-
gonna say this.
This
You
is-
guys do not know. This is 1995. You guys don't know the title, The Program. Now, you guys, as
wow.
players, do know that Delta Green goes by the moniker The Program in the 2000s.
Oh
He's
shit!
like, you with the program, I'm Vega! Look, you gotta get me out of here, man.
Well, I mean, I'm sure we would know what he's talking about. We know. Like,
You've never heard the term The Program.
we
You
would-
don't know what The Program means.
what do we call it though? We have to
You
call,
call
it
it Delta
something.
Green.
Oh,
But you
Oh,
also know that you're not supposed to tell anybody about Delta Green. So it creates this weird situation where it's like, so are you a part of the Verde Triangle? Like,
So he just says the program.
yeah.
It's like,
I'm not currently a member of Alcoholics Anonymous, sir. Do you have a problem?
Look, I'm DEA. Look, my name is, I'm Michael Whitwer. I'm a DEA agent, and about that time.
how do we know Michael?
How do you know Michael Whitwer?
oh, I know. Here's the guy whose plane ticket we found and was dated.
Is that
it's
who
a
it was?
2005.
Oh shit!
As you guys say that, it's the floor underneath the stretcher begins to sink in, and the floor and like
What
the
the fuck?
wood floor
Benji-
starts to flow in like liquid.
Benji takes the antique tomahawk out of
Yeah.
his pocket and tries to
I'm gonna
cut
try
the
to help
man
him.
out.
I'm gonna try to help too.
Cut the bindings.
All right, it's like so. Well, Hank was the only one right up there next to him. Hank, you're like quickly trying to get up. You're jumping at him, like trying to help him get this thing off.
Well, why don't I just pull the stretcher like he's on wheels, right?
The whole thing is just like sinking down to the floor, and he's like, "No, don't let it take me! No, help me!"
Yeah, I'm gonna try to help him out and say, "Get over here, boys."
All right, I need
Will.
Hank to make me probably a strength check. I need you to, if you're gonna help, to make me some type of athletics check to sprint over there fast enough.
Success 5 under 75 strength.
All right, so that's a
Benji got a
All
total of
successes.
30.
All
Success.
successes.
All success.
Awesome.
you guys run over.
We leap into action.
Hank Ellis grabs a hold of the edge of the stretcher and like is trying to heave it up. And this thing, I mean, it's got the weight of a full-grown man on it, but it's also this huge medical bed, and you seem to keep it from going under. You're like, and as you're pushing and digging your heels in, it's like the wooden floor underneath you is like giving way, and like you're pushing against like something that's not solid but not liquid. As you're like heaving him back, and all of the lights start to flicker, you guys get up there, and Benji, I'm gonna say that you're able to take the tomahawk out in that time. You guys sprint up there, and Benji, you reach up and you smash, and you cut one of these bindings that's on his wrist, and he reaches over and he's like trying to undo the restraint on his other side, and at that time, the ceiling collapses in, just the whole thing just directly down on top of him.
Fuck?
Him and the stretcher like are just crushed down into a hole as everything collapses down into just this deep dark pit, and you just hear him scream as he goes down. And because all of you are right there, everyone please make me a sanity check as you gaze down into the hole.
Well, shit. Was it even
Whoa.
possible to save him?
Oh my god.
Benji got a 23 under 48 success.
Hank fumbled. Benedict failed.
77.
All right, Benedict. Let's roll a 1d4 for old Benedict real quick. I got you. Take 4
Is that for me?
sanity damage. Do you want to deflect that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who are you going to deflect that on?
Gonna deflect that onto Margie, my magpie. Actually, Barlow.
On your
'cause
brother.
I've been
After
scarred
seeing him in that book, you just don't know
Yeah.
how you feel about Barlow.
after seeing him.
All right. Projection. All right. Roll a 1d4 for me, please. You.
Me
yes.
or Brad?
Hank Ellis takes 4, just straight up takes the max damage, 4. You guys look down to this hole,
I can't
and you
deflect.
see impossibly far away as the hospital bed and Michael Whitwer become a speck. You see something turn towards you all. And it looks like a porcelain mask. And it's blank and flat with just the most basic outlines of human features, nose, mouth, and eyes. The eyes are dark and empty. And as this thing turns slowly up at you, and all of you recoil away from the hole and fall backwards. And as you, and like Hank Ellis, like you get it the worst, you fall backwards and you scramble down the hallway a bit, but when you turn back, the hallway's totally normal. There's no giant hole in the ceiling or in the floor.
What the fuck?
And David
Porcelain
Langford
mask.
is in a ball, and he's just crying. He's he's holding his knees, and he's weeping. And he's just, I just want to go home. I just want to see that. I just want to get home.
The porcelain mask guy was in one of those paintings.
Yes, that is
Oh,
true.
that's what it was.
In one of the paintings you saw of the burning place. Benedict, subtract please 1 of those, 1 willpower point, and you may reduce the sanity damage you take by 1.
Okay.
Hank Ellis, would you like to deflect your 4 sanity damage?
Oh yes, I do.
All right, then
For
please roll your 1d4. Also, Benedict, please subtract 1 from one of your bonds.
But so I do not take that sanity damage if I.
If you roll
Deflect, right?
roll a 4, then you'll take none.
Oh,
Okay, you rolled a 3,
rolled a
so
3.
subtract 3 willpower. Instead of getting 4 sanity damage, you only take 1. And then
Okay.
please subtract 3 from one of your bonds. Which one of the bonds are you harming? Does Hank Ellis harm in order to deflect the sanity damage?
Well, maybe he doesn't think too. Apparently, Benji and Hank have the hot for Sandy, the same person as Sandy. Maybe he'll just take away from her after seeing her in that book.
Yeah.
More
how
for
much-
me.
Yeah, I think we had talked about...
How much am I take?
Well, we had talked about it. Did we talk about that on... I think we did. We talked about that in, like, the first recording where we were talking about the character making. That, canonically, that you guys are, like, kind of chatting up the same waitress at a diner.
Yeah.
Just don't know about them.
Yeah. All right. So all that...
How much am I taking away
So
from that
all that
bond?
just happened. 3. The amount that you reduce the sanity damage by.
So 3 willpower and 3
Correct.
on the bonds. Okay.
Yeah, man. All right, you guys are in this hallway. David Langford is, and you know what? Let's roll. Why don't we roll for old Dave? I want to see how Dave did.
Good David.
All right, Dave did okay. He's still not happy about it. All right, so here you guys are, and the exit appears to be right here.
Let's get the hell out of here. What the?
Let's
The
do
moral
it.
of the story is that we need to stop helping people, everybody.
As you guys
Stop
as
helping.
Benedict eyes David Langford and kind of like tickles the the holster of his gun. He's like, need to stop helping people.
That was his plane ticket, though, for sure.
Yeah, you know that name.
Yeah.
But he identified himself first by the name Vega, which, you know, kind of I mean, you guys all have agent pseudonyms too.
Yeah.
And he said he worked for the DEA.
Mhm.
I mean,
Well,
Joe, I really think we would be able to put that together that he was part of Delta Green, even though we don't know the name of the program.
seems weird, man.
I think. Yeah.
Seems weird.
What? Why are all our agent names? Why do they start with M? What was the significance
Because
of
you're
that?
in M cell.
Yeah.
So he's in V cell, presumably.
I
Whatever
think
that
we'd be able to
means.
put that
Oh my
together,
God.
but regardless, I think we'd be. Hank's kind of like, let's get the hell out of here, going for the door at this
Yeah.
point. I mean,
Let's
that's the
go.
craziest shit. I think that's the craziest shit we've seen.
Yeah, that
It's
is
like-
that is probably the most like
hole?
supernatural, unnatural thing you guys have seen. You guys pop back into Michelle Van Fitz's room. It's it's warm and well appointed again, but it's like, but now that you've seen this, there's some like you kind of noticing cracks around things, like not just like literal cracks, but like things don't seem quite as plush and quite as inviting as they did. Like the fire is maybe burning, is like now it's kind of burning kind of low, and it's kind of putting everything in a bit of a creepy light. And things just don't seem quite as nice as they did before.
Is there a clock somewhere around?
In Michelle Van Fitz's apartment?
Yeah,
Probably.
won't take the time.
The time says it's like it's weird because her apartment's like kind of like in the night floors, not in the night floors. Like shit, I don't even fucking know. Like as the DM,
I want
as
an
the
answer,
handler, like
Joe.
I don't fucking know what it says. Like,
And you look at it and it pops out. The screen.
yeah, the second you look at it, just
the clock, but it's like that painting where it's like melting off the
no,
desk.
as you're looking at it,
Dolly
the hands are
Yeah.
still, but the clock face is spinning, is like slowly ticking and turning.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah, cool.
Alright. Matador stops looking around for a clock.
Wise.
You guys,
Fellas, we need to.
if you guys go back into
Go
the
ahead.
you get back to the McAllister building. The second you open it up and enter it, David Langford, he runs to the banister. He's like, "Oh God, oh, I'm back, oh." And he starts to head down the stairs.
No,
Nope.
no, no, no,
Wait
no,
up.
no, no.
Wait up.
Hold
Wait up,
up,
big guy.
partner.
Okay.
I stop him and
Let's,
say, "You're gonna have to roll with us for a second."
Yeah. And we take him into the room.
Okay, and there's two people already hogtied in the room.
Go with us now.
Well, here's the thing, like
got a
you don't
special
have the
closet
time,
for
but
you.
if you want to, like, God, I don't want this to be
I
a
don't think
huge
we're
thing.
on the time.
If you want to, I would say that it's not hard for you to convince David that like he needs medical help and that you have people coming.
Mm-hmm.
I would say,
Yeah.
Which is
and
all
you
true.
did save him. So
Yes.
if someone wants to give me a persuade roll, and I'll give you a plus 40. So let's see if you'll just get really boned by this or not.
Definitely gonna try.
Who's got the highest persuade?
Well,
Success.
but
Got
I
it.
did one.
39.
Yeah.
And
You're able to tell him, like, listen, like, we need you to stay here. We're gonna get you some help.
Ignore the hogtied people.
And
Those
don't-
are our
I'm
yeah,
going to assume
Don't worry
that
about
you
Jeremy.
stow him somewhere else. Like, I don't.
Don't worry about that woman hogtied. She was dangerous,
Oh,
and
that's-
we handled her like 3 men would in a fight against the woman.
It was exactly
Don't
as
you talk-
one-sided
don't you talk shit
as
about my future
you would
wife.
expect it to be.
Pretty
totally-
strong, man.
We won it very fast. We won
It
the
was
battle.
it,
Yes,
Yes.
to call it a battle is to misrepresent it.
I don't know if you've noticed, but we are alpha males.
So you're able to get him to stay there. So now you guys are here. We'll say that you've moved, or we'll say that you guys can lie to him and say, "Oh no, this is someone else we saved, along with Jeremy. Like these are all people we've saved. Why are they tied up?
Yeah.
I don't know. You tell us. Like I don't know. You come up with something, but you're able to get him to stay there, and you know that sometime around tomorrow in the middle of the day, there's supposed to be someone here to pick these people up. Someone from Delta Green. So, what are you gonna do? And like, I'm gonna say from here on out, if you guys are not making a concerted effort to go somewhere and get some rest, or to stay here and get some rest, by that matter,
I think at least one person needs to stay here with them.
I think Benedict can stay there because he's got Jeremy that he needs to look after.
And you guys
So
could
what time?
always take. You guys have some like police tape. You can always put some police tape over the door. That's probably gonna ward most people off from even knocking on the door, kind of thing. You know.
But I mean, also, I'm more concerned if they wake up and cause some kind of ruckus. You know.
I'll keep them there.
Okay.
What time is it now that we're out of Van Fitz's
About 9
apartment?
o'clock. But like I said, you guys have been going.
Okay.
You guys have effectively been awake
been
for
up all
way more than
night.
24 hours at this point. Like, you guys are tired.
Okay, so
All right,
Benedict
fellas.
will- Yeah,
Benedict, I guess you're going to stay here, and we can just
I'll stay here.
meet up
I'll
tomorrow.
tuck in the kids. You guys go back to your families.
It's
Is there anything we can do for you while we're out? You got any pets that need feeding?
Just goddamn come back tomorrow.
What's that?
Just come back tomorrow.
Okay.
Just like
Alright.
for some reason cursed in that sentence, and I me laugh.
This goddamn comeback.
so you guys.
Get the fuck out
So
of here.
okay, so let me get this straight. Benedict is staying, right?
Yeah.
And then the other two of you are gonna go home? Question mark.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
Benji's got to go feed Alibaba.
Right. All right. You guys. Benedict, you are there, and gonna say that Michelle is still so banged up that she doesn't seem to wake up throughout the night. That there is a like ruined kind of gross ass couch, and like remember a lot of the stuff did get cleaned up. But you tell David Langford like, hey, go back there, crash on the bed in her bedroom. Which seems like a weird thing. He's like, well, what about, isn't there like a crime scene? And you're like, don't fucking worry
No,
about it.
not. It's not the time for questions.
Well, I feel like, honestly,
Go to
I
sleep.
feel like he's so frazzled that he probably doesn't care. Like, at this
Yeah.
point. But he is... So you tell him to go sleep, and you, like, crash, like, there. You want to be by the door. You put up some police tape, and you're able to get some sleep. And the other two of you, Hank Ellis, you make it back to your, like, what kind of apartment or place does you live? You, like, live in, like, a kind of, like, a little apartment or what?
Yeah, normal apartment.
Okay. You get back home, and there's a note, stuck in your door.
Open the door and pull it out of the envelope or whatever. Read it while opening the door and going inside.
It is a note from one of your compatriots, one of your peers, at the marshal's office, and it says, it's another marshal. It says, hey, try to reach out to you. Know you're on this other case for the FBI, but the boss wants a sit rep. Boss wants an update. Left a message on your machine, didn't get you. Was worried. Call me back. And this is Agent.
Okay.
This is Agent Theodore Banks. Teddy. Or Marshall
Well,
Banks, I guess.
I could probably call him tomorrow.
Yeah, it's pretty
when I
late.
Get my story straight. Yeah. So yeah,
Did you
I'll
bring
just
any of the? You
probably
didn't
try to
bring
crash.
anything back with you, did you? Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, you get in there, crash. There is a message on your machine.
All right. I guess I'll listen
But
to
you
that.
listen
too.
to it, and that it's him. It's Marshall Banks. Did they call him Marshall? They just call him agents. I don't know. It's one of your peers.
Probably agents.
He's looking for you. He's like, hey, the boss wants a sit rep. Benji, you get home. and there's a message on your machine. I'm not going to give you the opportunity to say you ignore it. You click play, and you hear the sound of a party. It's like Benji, I came by, man. You fucking missed out. Hey man, it's your loss. Good luck with whatever. Bye. And hangs up. And that's Skylar's shitty voice. That's his angry voice. You know that. You know he's
such a diva.
He's such a diva. He's upset. Would you please remove one of your bond points from Skylar?
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't Hank also just have like an entire calamity in his family or his extended family? Like just
One of my exes died.
Oh, you're right. Did you ever lose a bond point for all that?
I hate to bring this up, but
you know what? Go ahead
No,
and
you
remove one of those
don't.
bond points from your 5 sons.
It was John. He has a name.
The eldest.
Benedict is sitting pretty in his little hovel away from the world, in his crazy hovel with all the collateral damage that he
So remember
accrued.
how you're sleeping in that crazy hovel? Roll me a sanity check for Benedict as you're trying to get to sleep.
Sleeps like a baby. Failure, 61 over 56.
All right. Please
Sleeping the baby.
Please subtract 1 sanity point, unless you want to deflect.
Yeah, I'll deflect that.
Okay. Go ahead and remove 1 sanity. I'm not going to make you roll it. I'm just going to make you lose 1 bond, 1 willpower. Subtract. Which
All right.
bond are you projecting that onto? Is that your brother again?
Take it from
From
Barlow
Barlow,
again.
okay.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep because of
Just
Barlow.
keep seeing. You're pretty sure
I've seen
Barlow.
the image.
You're pretty sure Barlow's
seeing
not
it.
actually that flexible.
And it was just so out of character for him.
Yeah. And what was with the bag on his head? Well, how would you recognize him then?
And so many
When
people.
I think about it.
I don't know.
Anyway, as
Got a tattoo.
you're sitting here and you look, you take one the couch pillows and you just kind of cover your jacket over you, and you see something move, and at first you think it's David, maybe, but you see a figure walk out of the bedroom and into the bathroom. They're walking kind of fast, and you didn't catch much of them just because you just caught the last bit, but you did see something. A pair of bright, cleanly white shoes entering quickly, walking briskly from one door into the other. If you jump up and you go in the bathroom, no one's there.
Damn.
Yeah.
Benedict regrets everything.
So, but here's the real question. What does Benji read before bed?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
How many hours do I have?
You have an English to Tartessian dictionary. That one's going to take a while. I'm going to tell you.
Well, when you said it was 9 when we got back, did you mean 9 in the morning
Night.
or 9 at night? Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I think what day of the week is it?
Shit.
It doesn't really matter.
I
I was
think
just
it was
curious
Friday.
if Benji had
I'm
obligations
pretty
tomorrow.
sure it was Friday.
I want to say Skylar and I were supposed to go out on a
Yes,
Friday night.
it was Friday, so it's coming up on August 12th, which is a Saturday.
Be a Saturday. Okay. Sweet. That means school's out, so Benji didn't have to teach or anything. So I'm actually just going to go straight to sleep and do all of my reading tomorrow. And hopefully read everything if I can.
Okay. And what all do you have with you again?
I have
World
the
without
English
doors.
Tartessian thing, The King in Yellow, A World Without Doors, and A History of the Russo-Germanic Hegemony.
I'm going to say that if you want to read either, that you can choose to read either one of the Russo-Germanic hegemony or A World Without Doors, like, pretty quickly as you go to sleep.
Okay, I'll choose A World Without Doors.
Alright. The story is about a girl whose name you now pick up. Her name is Abby.
Oh no.
Abby travels to a mystical, unnamed land. She does so by
Like Abby in Wonderland.
Drowning herself.
Oh my god.
She travels to a world without doors, and she battles a nameless phantom that causes the people to dance the dance, which causes them to live boring, routine, mundane lives. Every time she gets caught, she escapes back into the real world by drowning herself again. She returns back and forth to continually fight the Phantom. And as she does, the Phantom is eventually defeated. And the people are released from the dance. But as this happens, she finds out that the city begins to collapse into absolute chaos, anarchy, and death. She then realizes that the Phantom and the dance must exist, and she puts on the mask herself and becomes the Phantom.
It's a little light
Interesting.
bedtime reading.
Yeah. Real light. Real light stuff.
And what?
Also, you look and see that the book was published in 1936.
1936. In the book, does it give a description of the Phantom's mask? Would it happen to be?
It describes it as a
white and
as
porcelain?
a flat porcelain plain mask.
Lord have mercy.
Phantom.
And then you nod off to sleep. Oh, I forgot to change the music. It's
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great juxtaposition. Excellent juxtaposition.
She's just blaring some ragtime.
just juking and jiving.
Like old Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, he's like hopping up and down like Mickey Mouse. Like what is it?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Let me fix that. Oh shit. So yeah, you guys go to sleep. Now, if you would be so kind, so this is when you get to recover your willpower. Anyone who has a full night's sleep, roll 1d6, and that is how much willpower you engage in. And also, I will also say, because I think it's very in keeping with your motivations, Hank Ellis, go ahead and give yourself 1 willpower back anyway. Because I feel like Hank's dedication to trying to find Abby really is his character, like really being lived out in the world.
So can I go above my max?
Nope, can't go above your max. So if you're at your max, you're good to go.
Okay, cool. The other man, the sanity thing is kind of concerning.
Oh yeah,
right now for Hank.
That's kind of how it goes.
What are you at?
59, but my breaking point is 52.
Oh, creep it
Yeah.
down.
All right, it is the next morning. I'll say that we'll say you guys get up, pretty early, 7, 8 o'clock. Benedict, you had some funky dreams.
Make some tea for everybody in the morning.
Yeah, you actually roll me a sanity check for Benedict real quick. Don't worry, I'm not gonna take your sanity. I just want you to do a sanity check.
That's fine. Take it all. 94 over 56 failure.
All right, failure. you have vague memories of being pursued by down the hallways of this hotel by people wearing gas masks, and it kind of woke you up a few times, like old school gas masks. So yeah, that's fun. You wake up with that little tidbit.
Huh, thanks.
He wakes up and he has white shoes on his feet.
But they're on your hands too. Ah!
Yes, put
Your hands are white shoes. Ah!
You wake up again.
About 9 o'clock in the morning, there's a knock on the door. It's a light knock, just a real, just. I don't know. Did you pick that up? Was that good enough?
Yep.
Yeah,
Good,
that was good.
Good
Yeah,
Foley
very
work.
light. Well done.
You open the door and you see Agent Marcus.
Oh, thank God, man. Where have you been?
He's and we have Agent Marcus here. Yeah, here he is. He's on our screen. We have Agent Marcus here, and he is he's kind of nervous as always. The guy always seems nervous, and he has with him what looks like they're wearing they have like coveralls, like they're mechanics or exterminators or something like that, and they have a logo that says City Carpet on their shirts, and he's like, okay, he nods at you, he's like, Matador, and he looks in, he's like, he kind of looks past you a little bit, he's like, you have, we're here to pick something up?
Yeah, we have a couple more packages. We actually have 3, not one.
What?
3, not 1.
He looks at the guys, and they're like, their eyes get wide, and they're just like, shaking their heads no. They're like, all right, we are equipped for 1.
All right, well then.
Well, and Marcus says,
Take
like,
the-
Langford comes out, and Langford's like drinking tea. He's like, oh, are you the, and he knows you guys are FBI, like you have the badges and stuff like that, and he's like, oh, good. He's like, oh, thank God. He's like, are you guys with the, are you guys with the FBI? And you guys had told him before, you kind of lied to him and told him, like, hey, we're gonna get you some medical help, and you have to go talk to the FBI because you've been kidnapped and whatever, you know. And he's like covered in a blanket. He's like, I'm ready to go, and he's holding a cup of tea.
Nope, not yet. Not yet. I will deal with you in a little bit. Go sit back down. Go read a book.
Okay.
Don't read anything. Don't read anything. Just sit down.
I am
Just
glad
sit
you
down.
caught that. You were about to fucking come back in, and this guy was gonna be fucking elbow deep in the King in Yellow.
Alright, then I think we just have to deal with the show. That's
They tell you that if they're like,
Look
well,
forward.
if they're like, well, listen, he tells you that what they're gonna do for your other two, they're like, if this guy is cooperative, they can probably get him out. But the other two, they're going to smuggle them out, because it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. They're gonna smuggle them out in rolled up carpet, like dead bodies, and throw them in a van.
under my breath. Hey, we need a special treatment for 1, and then normal treatment for 2, with like big eyebrows.
And Marcus, he's like, what the fuck does that mean? which one? Like that? And he's like pointing back. He's like he needs the special treatment. No.
God, man, it's like you were not even listening on the phone yesterday. And then he just, God damn it, get inside. And then I guess tries to sort him out, tries to get
Basically,
everybody out.
I'm
Position-
gonna tell you what happens. Because I don't want to get bogged down in this. They
Fine.
take David out to the van, and it's like city carpet, and he's like, is this It's like this doesn't
Yes.
look like an FBI van. And
Yes.
about that time,
Whatever you're
one of the
asking.
guys like sticks him in the neck with a needle, and he's like,
Jeez.
you know, and they just kind of let him fall into the back of the van, and then they take in some carpet, and then take the other two out, and disappear them into this fucking van.
Excellent.
God.
Okay. That's
Can you imagine?
fucking best case scenario right there.
Can you imagine being rolled up in a carpet? Well, that's got to be fucking
nasty.
terrifying. Well, that too, but like from a claustrophobic
I thought
standpoint.
Brad's
Yeah,
really
like,
unpleasant.
how filthy! What a disgusting thing to happen to a person.
Well, Brad comes from money.
We all know that.
Well, I don't know. The first thing that came to mind is like Matt used to have like this mat that he put on the floor so his drums wouldn't move. It was like so disgusting, and that's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, it's like 95% dog hair.
Yeah,
So by the time you guys get back, well, so are you guys coming back to the McAllister building? The other two of you?
yeah, I guess the next day.
After I get done reading.
You're gonna
Well, I'm gonna call the boss too prior to heading over there.
you call your U.S. Marshal boss, and he basically wants to know. He's like, all right. He's like, listen, I know you're doing something for the FBI. I didn't agree to this, but no one fucking asked me anything. He's like, I want to know. It's like, are you doing it? Like, he's like, what are you doing for them? And you have the option to not tell him. You could be like, I've been told that it's not, that's all under the rug right now, or you could make something up. What are you going to tell him?
Well, we've been advised not to discuss as little as possible, but just between you and me, your run-of-the-mill investigation, missing person, doesn't really sound like anything special.
Why the hell they want the marshals?
The U.S.'s finest and all that, no jurisdiction, that kind of stuff.
You feel like you placate him, and then are you going to make your way back to McAllister?
Yeah.
What about Benji? What's Benji going to do this morning?
Reading, baby. He's going to make a bowl of cinnamon sugar Cheerios, big old glass of milk, and then pop open the King in Yellow.
He's going to eat cereal dry and drink milk. Is that what you said?
Listen, he's obviously gone
To read the
insane
book
from the
that
King's
makes
influence.
Everyone insane.
That is the craziest shit I've heard.
He's going
All
to take
day.
a dry spoonful of Cheerios, put it in his mouth, then take a sip of milk and swish it around, and then swallow it without chewing
I don't think if Hank ever saw that, he would not be able to work with you ever again.
All right, you're going to read The King in Yellow.
I would actually like to read all the books if I can, but I want to save The King in Yellow for last.
All right, you read the other one you had, which was a history of the Russo-Germanic hegemony. It's really wordy. It's like, this is like not a textbook. It's not like that big, but it's written in that same type of style. Like, this is meant to be extremely informative kind of writing, which is, because at first you read it and this is
Boring.
something that you don't think really happened. But it would seem odd to spend so much time on something that wasn't real. It discusses the Russian-German alliance fighting something called the Black Wind, an enemy force that invaded Europe through Turkey in 1910. It focuses on forces that are kind of between this Russo-Germanic alliance and not really on the Black Wind. It doesn't really talk about the Black Wind. It mainly talks about the alliance and how they kind of performed in the fight. There is one chapter that kind of stands out to you, seems to be about like a specific battle that was of particular importance. Let's see, I will type it in the... It is the Battle of Yevtil. and it shows some black and white photos of you. Like, there's a few photos in there, like in the book, that are part of it, and one of them shows a partially destroyed palace. That parts of it look to be like really torn down, parts of it look to be mostly untouched, and it says, "Damage to the Palace of Carcosa." And in the front, you see that the book was published in 1924 by Ebon Publishers of Alar Carcosa.
Alar Carcosa.
Yep. Like a city and state, or city and country. So yeah.
Interesting stuff.
Trying to think. Well, we'll just talk about this after we're done.
Any other reading you'd like to get around to?
Oh, you know I gotta read that King in Yellow.
Yeah, let's just win the game right now.
This is how you do
Read
it. This is obviously how you do it.
Let's
I
win.
don't
If
know
there's
where to
anything
win.
I've learned from
Already.
Delta Green, is reading everything, is knowing everything, is the way to go.
This is
Well,
not a
look,
point-and-click adventure, and you should
You're
not
talking-
make
This
it.
is not Monkey Island,
You're talking
guys.
about-
We don't have to do this.
No. No.
You're talking about Hank and his motivation earlier is finding Abigail. This is
This
Benji's
is
thing.
Benji's thing.
He is a scholar of this
Right.
stuff. This is exactly
Totally
the
it.
kind of book that he would want to
I
read.
got you, man.
Like,
Yep.
think about the dissertation he could write about this.
I mean, think about all the crazy, bizarre shit
He's being,
this thing inspired in other people. What awesome things could it inspire in Benji?
It's like Midsumner, where like those people are dying and like everyone's horrified except for the two guys that want to write the dissertation about it.
Yeah. That's very accurate. That's a good way to put it. And I've fully realized the consequences that this could potentially have.
No, but
And
you have to.
if Benji like goes permanently insane or dies because of this, then that's just what happens. That's just the story.
And you know what? And that's Delta Green, man. Like,
it.
players die, or not players die. Holy shit.
Wow. Foreboding.
Take
Are
it
you-
back.
are you
Take it
threatening
back.
Carriers die. Alright. Takes you just about an hour. Takes you just about an hour. You open the book, you've got your... What were you eating again?
Dry Cheerios and a glass of milk.
That is horrible.
You are reading, and it is a play, and it seems to be about, the overall story is that someone has a ball. This man has a grand ball. He hosts a ball, and it appears at first that no one comes to the ball, but then he gets one guest. And it's basically a story about that he was looking to. It's kind of like a warning tale, you know. It's like he tries to show everyone how grandiose and awesome he is, and eventually he is destroyed for it as punishment for being so. What's the word? Like hedonistic, like he's like punished for it.
Mm.
Please roll me a d4.
Gladly. It is a 2.
Please take 4 sanity damage. You can deflect it if you like.
Okay.
What do you think?
That's a lot, man. I think I got to deflect
All right.
that. That's a lot
All
in
right,
one
roll
hit.
a d4 to see how much you deflect. Who are you deflecting it on? How about
think-
Skylar?
Skylar makes the most
All right.
sense. It's like maybe Benji's pissed off at his the tone that he used
Right.
now.
Yeah.
Maybe
Who
that's
is
the
this
form
dude?
that it takes.
This is like a frat
Yeah.
bro.
Just
Yeah.
Buddy,
buddy
what
from
is
college.
he? Okay. okay.
so take
Benji was like,
So you can
Yeah.
take 2 sanity damage instead of 4.
yeah.
And then subtract 2 willpower and 2 from your bond.
2 for everything. Got it.
So some things need to happen on your character sheet as well, as long as you're there. What's your favorite art skill that Benji has?
I don't know.
The only one I have is music.
Add 5.
Oh wow. Wow.
So yeah, his music goes up to 55.
Add 5 to your unnatural.
Sweet.
We should read The King in Yellow more, you guys. It's
Benji reads it
it's
again.
weird because you're reading this thing. It seems to really inspire you in a lot of ways, and you look up and you see that as you've been absent-mindedly reading the book in one hand and eating and putting dry Cheerios into your mouth like a toddler, and you've been kind of playing with them, you look down on the coffee table in front of you. Or are you eating at the table? Are you eating on the couch or at the table?
We'll say couch.
You look down the coffee table and you see that you have absent-mindedly arranged the Cheerios into the sign on the front of the red book.
Oh, wow.
And that's the
Wow.
last thing you
Nice.
remember until you wake back up. You come back to, and you are in front of you're in like a kind of dark, moody coffee shop. And you're sitting on a very small stage on a stool with a guitar in your lap. And there are, probably about 10 people. Some people just like up at the counter getting their coffee and leaving, but like a few people sitting there eating, a Danish and a coffee and stuff. And they are clapping. Man, like they're like, for like being middle of the morning crowd of someone just, someone like doing a little song in a coffee shop, they're like, yeah, that was really good, man, and they're all like really, really excited for you. You look down at your watch, it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh shit.
And you hear something right on the back of your periphery. You hear it. Have you seen it? 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 And as you're getting up to leave, you realize you don't even know whose guitar this is, by the way. You have no idea. As you get up, like someone hands you a piece of paper. There's like a girl there, and she's probably like in her mid-20s. She goes, hey, like, could you, hey, if you'd like to come by the such and such, and play sometime, like, we have people play there all the time. We'd love to hear it. She hands you like a napkin and asks you to write down your name, but you cannot keep yourself from drawing anything other than the yellow sign. As your hand shakily like outlines it, and you hand it back, and she goes, what is this? And she looks at the symbol and looks up at you, just folds the paper in her hand and slowly walks away from you as she puts it in her purse and walks towards the door. And that is where we are going to end.
Oh my god.
For today.
Nice.
What have we
What
done?
have you done?
Is Benji officially the artist formerly known as Benji?
Yeah. Well, you guys made it out of
Nice.
the fucking night floors the second time. Jeez.
Oh, is that a feat?
That's... I don't know, man. It's touch and go.
Yeah, that mask into the deepest, darkest depths of infinity, that was a bit touch and go at one point.
Yeah. Well, it's like, and the thing is, like, I'm always so impressed with the connections that you guys make. Like how, like, there was something that Jean did. I can't remember what it was now. No, it was Whitwer. It was Michael Whitwer. When you're like, that's the guy from the ticket. Like, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are killing it, man. And now you're back on the outside, and maybe there's more to learn.
Oh, bet your ass I'm gonna go to a library and look up Darabandi.
Dude, I bet that fucking the super has got to be the dude that built this place.
That never even crossed my mind. That's so obvious.
Yeah. Slash
so.
that black and white photo slash dude that drowning kids.
Yeah.
He's got a lot
There's
going
a
on.
lot happening.
He's a bit of an
I
artist.
think we can all agree. Guys, very busy.
Yes. I was trying to remember.
do.
So, like, the only time I've heard the Carcosa, what were they doing in True Detective? He was one thing. I was just mumbling it. I was trying to remember.
Yeah, like at the very. I
was
know
being
at the
said in-
very end, like when he goes into the dude's sanctum and like fights him. The guy you hear him
Yeah.
whispering, he's like, "I have seen Carcosa." And there's a bit like where they're talking to a woman, like a witness, and she says something about Carcosa, and she's like an older lady, and she starts getting like it's kind of made to be like, oh, maybe she has dementia or something. She's like, I have seen Carcosa.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Carcosa, and I'll remind you guys.
And it's weird that it's like a fictional country, I
Well,
guess.
like, and I'll remind you guys,
Which
like, the King in Yellow lore in Delta Green is unique in a lot of ways than is the King in Yellow lore at large versus the King in Yellow Hastur lore from Call of Cthulhu versus, like the stuff that's in the Call of Cthulhu games, and, it's...
Pathfinder even has Carcosa
Right.
lore.
Really?
Yeah, the Strange Aeon adventure path is all about that. So yeah,
We also have a demon. Just to remind us, a demon person, Person, that we haven't
Random
found.
demon
Yep.
walking
there
around.
is
I thought that was who.
there is a whole
I thought
there's
that
a
was who-
whole book of demons that may or may not be summoned. Let's not forget Demon Web 101.
Let's not forget that. Yeah.
wonder
And
if it's
we had
back up.
Jeremy, who was possibly drowned to get back home.
And keep in mind that Jeremy is now. Oh, by the way, about Jeremy, go ahead and
He's
just.
fine.
Can you
He's
line through Jeremy or something? I don't want you to take him off there, but can you just
I haven't.
put a note by
I'm sure
him?
he's fine. No, I'll check in with him.
I thought you were gonna
sure
keep
I'll
him.
check in with him next time. He'll
I
be
think
okay.
he did get put in a carpet and put in a van, and you don't know where he went. So let's not take him off your bonds.
Actually-
I'm not saying that Jeremy's gone. I would never say that. But let's just say
I'm sure he.
he's just out of pocket for the time being.
This is
Jeremy goes to 0.
when you decided to bring a bond on the mission. I figured that's about how it was gonna go.
Yeah, that's fair.
He lasted
Yeah,
a
he
while.
did okay.
I mean, we got.
Yeah.
so-
All right, guys, it was great playing with you guys today.
Cool.
Yeah, good sesh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. it
Anyone
was.
who's listening, please go check out our Reddit headquarters. That's r/Greenbox Gaming, no spaces. That's where we do a lot of our updates and stuff. And we've got our socials. That's episodes get put up there, and it kind of goes without saying, we would love to put out. Me and the guys here, me, Jean, Brad, and Dace, we're trying to put out a good product. We're trying to put something together that sounds good and that's entertaining, and we want to try to do it regularly. One of the things that would make a huge difference is if we had some decent freaking microphones, especially for me. I know I have one of the worst ones because I'm using this headset. So if anyone listening to this, if you like what you're hearing, go to our Reddit and then use that to get over to the Patreon. Where there's a link there it says support Greenbox Gaming, and go over to the Patreon and take a look at that. And those kinds of any of those donations, that kind of stuff, that goes directly to us getting some better sound equipment or getting access to a Sirenscape kind of thing, like a sound library and music library that we can use that's got a lot more diversity and a lot more really good products, so that we can get something really polished up and get to you guys something that sounds really nice. Maybe we can actually get some editing software that's dependable as well.
Yeah, to piggyback off that, hopefully on one of the next few releases, we will feature editing.
Yes. At some point in time, hopefully we will actually start editing these damn things.
I promise we're working on it. It's a lot of technical red tape because my laptop is a dinosaur, but we're going to get it figured out. We're honing in on it.
But this is not, it's like we really love playing this game, and we're going to play this thing no matter what. We're going to play, if we put out 100 episodes and not one ever gets listened to, we're still going to play it. And we're still going to enjoy the shit out of it. And I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying running it for you guys.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, so if you like what you hear and you want to enable us to do this on to continue to do it on a regular basis and get some better mics and get something better sounding, please go over there and consider being a patron. If you do that, you get to listen to the episodes a week early. And then we're also going to do some patron shout-outs.
How about that?
Yeah. So
Put a camera in Madison's apartment.
yeah, and if we're looking into a different top tier, a premium tier, which includes live feeds of Dace's apartment, how he lives, and if you want to do the VIP tier, we might have some bathroom stuff.
You glossed over the mid tier where you get to watch me cry myself to sleep.
Right, that is the mid tier, and that's some good content, guys. Like, you've never heard of a grown man cry like this. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Great stuff.
But anyway,
Great
join
stuff.
us next week as we continue down, as these guys continue to look into what's going on with this building. I think they wanted to dig into some of the Darabandi stuff and try to figure out what they're actually going to do. And maybe we'll find out what happened to Jeremy along the way. Maybe. But yeah, it was great playing with you guys today.
Back at work.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks for being.
Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Adios.
Later.